Today's agenda is about Apple's ecosystem, what's available, some examples, and understanding it. Now, Apple calls their ecosystem a seamless experience. So if you have seamless, it helps to understand what seams are. And seams means you might have a different experience depending on what device and what application you use. So if you have a Windows and an Android and another device, you might have a different experience when using those devices, and you might have different experiences across apps on those devices. And what Apple tries to do is they try to make it what they call seamless across all devices and apps, and it's their ecosystem that they talk about. So it builds upon a couple of things. Your Apple ID is very important to utilizing the Apple ecosystem. We'll talk about that. Your devices are all made by Apple. They are the manufacturer of the devices. They also make the Apple operating systems that go on those devices. So it's a very tight integration of hardware and software. And they also provide a lot of apps as part of their operating system that are included when you purchase an Apple device. And their devices include the Mac, the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple Watch, the Apple TV, and now the Apple Vision Pro. Now, some functions work across all devices. Some functions in their ecosystem work across a few devices. And so there might be some subtle differences in how you use them. For example, you don't use the Notes app or the Reminder app on Apple TV. That's just one example of something that might be a situation where an app or a device has some particular qualities to it. Okay, your Apple ID is really important. It is your identity with Apple. When I did classes on iPhones, iPads, and I'm lost, a lot of people didn't understand that your Apple ID login is who you are to Apple. It's not specific to any device. So when you use your Apple ID across different devices, it identifies the device user. So it's very important for the ecosystem to work to be logged in with the same Apple ID on all the devices you want to use. It gives Apple the ability to connect your information to each other across the devices and recognize who the user is and their account, and makes it very feasible for you to utilize it in a lot of different ways. This seamless experience requires the same ID on all devices. You'd think that everybody would understand that, but you'd be surprised when you talk to people. If you talk to people and help them out in any way with technology and using it, always ask them what Apple ID they're logged in with on their device. They may not be logged in with the same ID. Now, the iCloud is one part of Apple's ecosystem. It provides storage services and synchronization across devices with Apple, and it's included as part of the operating system. It uses your Apple ID, it syncs data across devices, and it moves data to the cloud and back and forth between devices. So if you have something on your Mac you add, and it's connected to Apple iCloud, you'll sync up with your same information on your phone, your watch, your tablet, even your home device as well, if you have things that you use with home automation. So there's a lot of iCloud apps. So let me go through this list, and I didn't cover all of them, believe it or not, but you've got Photos, you've got iCloud Drive, you've got iCloud Mail, Passwords and Keychain, Notes, Messages and iCloud, Health, iCloud Calendar, Contacts, Reminders, Safari, News, Stocks, Home, Fitness, Plus, Wallet, Game Center, Siri, Freeform, Journal, and a whole bunch of others that are come with your Apple device. Books, Pages, Numbers, Keynote, Movie, Clips, FaceTime, Maps, music recognition, your phone app, remote for your Apple TV, shortcuts, and weather. So there's just a huge number of apps that utilize iCloud. And Apple makes iCloud possible for other apps to use as well. So these are just Apple apps provided by Apple. Apple is a big software company. They provide a lot of apps with your device that are built in. Continuity is the other part of the Apple ecosystem, and it helps make it easier for you to move from one device to another. And we're going to spend a little more time on continuity than iCloud, but we'll talk a little bit about both. Continuity uses your Apple ID, it connects devices, it uses Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to connect devices together in various ways that allows you to move from using one device to using another device without having to do anything on your part. So it makes this use of multiple devices. So if you have your iPhone in your hand and you're in one room and you walk up and you sit down in front of your Mac and say you have Safari open, you'll see an icon on your Mac that'll indicate the Safari website you've got available to open up on you were looking at on your iPhone. If you're working with a note, if you start with an email, you can just pick up where you left off in terms of using it. And there's a lot of other features to continuity as well. This was what kind of amazed me about things that I was doing a little research on. Okay, one of the things you want to make sure if you have settings on your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad, is in the general settings. You want to look for AirPlay and handoff, and you can turn it on. Okay, usually they are turned on. And what it means is that AirPlay is a way of sending information back and forth between your devices. Apple has their HomePod device that they utilize for playing media. You can stream to your HomePod automatically. You can hand off, as I mentioned, between starting, say, Word email or a note or something and pick up where you left off. And your iPhone can actually function as a webcam or what they call continuity camera, which allows you to take pictures with your phone and insert it into various applications. We'll take a look at that. The Mac's a little bit different because generally Macs have a bigger screen. So if you're watching something on your iPhone and you wanted to play it on your Mac or on another monitor, you can make your Mac a receiver for allowing AirPlay to be able to use. And so it's possible to do that. So you just want to make sure handoff on your Mac is allowed. Handoff is turned on for these functions on your iPhone and iPad, and that'll make sure you're able to use it. By default, they're typically turned on, but sometimes settings get changed. Let's go through the continuity services. AirDrop. AirDrop lets you send documents, photos, videos, map locations to a nearby iPhone, iPad, or Mac. Remember, these use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So you have to be generally within Bluetooth range to use AirDrop. So if you have a photo you're looking at on your Mac, you tap the share icon and you can move it to another device. If you're looking at something on your phone and you want to get it to your Mac, you can use AirDrop to do that. And people can use AirDrop between different users as well. AirDrop will allow you to send information to other Apple devices nearby them, provided they allow AirDrop to be visible to other devices. AirPlay to Mac. You can share content if you want to set up as your Mac as an AirPlay receiver. You can AirPlay from your phone so that you can play music or videos or something. If you're watching a video on your phone, you'd rather see it on your Mac screen, you can just open it up on your Mac screen by doing AirPlay to Mac. Apple Pay. You can shop online on your Mac and use your purchase information. You can store credit cards and use Apple Pay on your iPhone or with your Apple Watch. Your Apple Watch will function with Apple Pay. You can use your Apple Watch to unlock your Mac. So when you just sit down in front of your Mac, it automatically unlocks if you have your watch set up to do that. So you don't have to type in a password or even use your fingerprint for ID to unlock your Mac. Continuity camera lets you use your iPhone as a webcam, or to scan documents or take a picture. And I think we'll be able to take a look at this when we take a look at some live activity. There's markup, so you can use your iPhone or iPad to add sketches or shapes. We'll probably be able to try this out as well because I've got everything set up for that. So if you wanted to draw something on your Mac screen, it isn't a touch screen. And so if you have an iPad with an iPad pencil, you can draw on your iPad and have that automatically pasted into a document on your Mac. Kind of interesting to see. There's continuity sketch where you're able to sketch as well. A markup lets you mark up photos. So if you're looking at a photo, you can use it to mark up. Sketch allows you to actually sketch on your iPhone or iPad and insert it into a document on your Mac. You start off from your Mac, you open up a document, and then you say you want to insert a sketch or a photo or scan something from your phone or iPad. Handoff is where you start work on one device, then switch to another device where you pick up exactly where you left off. So if you started an email on your Mac and you couldn't finish it and you had to go over to a friend's house and you had a moment to finish the email, you can finish it. But sometimes it doesn't work beyond Bluetooth range. It's designed to switch over between devices, meaning a lot of people have their phones with them, their tablets, and they come and sit down at their Mac, or they have their Mac and they want to go switch over to their phone because they're getting ready to travel somewhere. Instant Hotspot gives you the ability to connect to your hotspot without entering a password. Most cellular carriers allow you to use your phone as a hotspot. So if you're using your phone and you have hotspot capability available, you can just automatically connect to your hotspot from your Mac without having to select a network. And you can do it from your iPad as well, particularly convenient with your iPad because a lot of iPads are Wi-Fi only, not cellular. So if you wanted to just connect to the internet with your iPad, you can do it really quickly and automatically without having to enter a password. You can make cellular calls on your Mac, so you can make and receive calls from your Mac or your iPad when they're on the same network. So some of these issues with continuity require you to be close by or on the same network. So if you're at home, you're typically on the same network. So if you wanted to, you could receive a call on your Mac or on your phone or on your iPad. Just depends on which one you have convenient and want to use. You can use iPhone widgets on your Mac. I don't know if you're familiar with iPhone widgets, but they're tools that you can set up so that they're available on your lock screen or from your home screen very easily. And you can access these widgets right on your Mac without needing to install the app on your Mac. So there's an integration between the apps between Macs and phones. Sidecar lets you use your iPad as another display. So I have two displays, but a lot of people, or if you're traveling, you might have your Mac laptop, you might have another screen, you might not have another display with you. But if you have your iPad and your Mac, you can use your iPad as a second display or use it as a tablet input as we're going to try and look. You can do text message forwarding where if you set it up, and usually it's set up by default where you can send and receive SMS and MMS messages from your phone on your Mac or iPad. That's part of messaging. You have something called Universal Clipboard. This is really nice because if you want to copy something from your phone, and then you want to paste it into your Mac, once you place something in a clipboard from your phone or your tablet or your Mac, it's in the clipboard everywhere, okay, until you replace it with another item that you copy. Okay, so if you want to copy some text from your iPad and put it in something on your Mac, you just copy it and paste it. I'll show you. That's really pretty cool to use. So you don't have a clipboard just for your Mac and a clipboard just for your iPad and a clipboard just for your phone. It is a universal clipboard that Apple considers everywhere. And you have universal control. You can use your keyboard or mouse or trackpad of your Mac to control up to two other nearby Mac or iPad devices. I haven't tried it with another Mac, but I tried it with my iPad. And you actually can use your mouse and iPad if you set up universal control. Kind of an interesting tool. And you can type on your iPad using the keyboard you have on your Mac